Prologue. Felisin Paran is chained with other prisoners during Empress Lasine's cull of the nobility in Unta. During the season of rot, a priest of Hood appears before the prisoners and then vanishes, revealing supernatural forces at work and unsettling all who witness it. Felisin learns her fellow captives include Bowden, a brutal and dangerous man, and Heboric Light Touch, a disgraced priest and historian accused of treason. Adjunct Tavore, Felisin's sister, oversees the procession, confirming Felisin has been deliberately condemned despite their blood tie. The chained prisoners are marched through the city to face a mob deliberately incited by the Empire. The march turns into a massacre as citizens attack the prisoners. Bowden violently defends the group and sacrifices Lady Gayson to terrify the mob into retreat. Most prisoners are killed. The survivors, including Felisin, Bowden, and Heboric, are forced onward toward the slave ships bound for Aran. Book 1. Raraku. In Chapter 1, Mappo, Runt, and Icarium travel across the Panpots and Odan toward the holy desert Raraku, sensing an approaching convergence tied to the path of hands and ascendancy. They confirm Soul Taken and divers are gathering, including Rilandaris, and learn a shadow demon now serves Shaik, signaling unrest in 7 cities. Meanwhile, in Hisarar, Duker witnesses Coltaine of the Wiccan Crow clan arrive to take command of the Malazan 7th Army amid hostility from Imperial forces and political manipulation by Malak Rel. Coltaine asserts immediate control over his troops, averting bloodshed and marking himself as a formidable leader. Elsewhere, Kalam, Fiddler, Crocus, and Apsalar sail towards 7 cities, survive an attack by a Soul-Taken Denrabi at sea, and land covertly near Erliton. Kalam reveals his true objective, assassinating Empress Lasine. He explains that 7 cities is on the brink of rebellion, and the coming uprising provides the opening needed to strike at the Empire. In Chapter 2, Duker uncovers growing rebellion in 7 cities through prophetic symbols and divinations tied to Drina and the coming Whirlwind. He witnesses a vision foretelling bloodshed and confirms unrest is imminent. At a council in Asar, Coltaine asserts authority as Fist of the 7th Army, supported by Bolt, and the reborn Wiccan warlock Sormo Enath. Coltaine rejects orders from High Fist Pormqual, expels Malak Rel, and prepares to govern 7 cities directly. Duker is attached to Coltaine's staff and begins investigating Rel's influence, while also plotting to free Heboric from the Otatarl mines. In Erliton, Fiddler rescues 2 girls from Red Sword violence and receives protection and a powerful conch from Kimlock the Spirit Walker, who warns of a convergence at the Path of Hands. Kalam secures safe passage through the desert by taking the Book of Drina to Shaik, unknowingly drawing pursuit. Meanwhile, Mappo and Icarium survive divers' attacks and are taken to Iskaralpust's temple for healing as the convergence tightens around them. In Chapter 3, Felisin survives slavery in the Otatarl mines of Skullcup by submitting to Benneth, the brutal slave king who controls the camp for the guards. She trades her body for food and protection for herself, Heboric, and Bowden, and uses Benneth's influence to have Heboric reassigned from the lethal minecarts to deep soil. Despite this, Felisin grows isolated and realizes Heboric and Bowden are planning something without her. In Hisar, Red Blades attempt to violently assert control over the market, but Coltaine's Wiccans secretly counter them, preventing a massacre and exposing rising tensions in 7 cities. Duker confirms Coltaine is preparing the 7th Army for urban rebellion through relentless drills. Meanwhile, Fiddler, Crocus, and Apsalar leave Erliton disguised as pilgrims as Kalam departs alone toward Shaik with the Book of Drina. Elsewhere, Mappo recovers from Diver's poisoning in Iskaralpust's Shadow Temple, where Icarium confirms this place is central to his hidden goal, despite Mappo's growing distrust. In Chapter 4, conditions worsen in Skullcup as a mine collapse kills dozens of slaves, deepening Felisin Paran's numb dependency on Benneth. When Benneth offers Felisin to Captain Sawark to gain information about Bowden's arrest, Sawark reacts with shock upon seeing her, revealing Felisin's noble origins. Suspecting betrayal, Benneth brutally beats Felisin and abandons her. Heboric later finds her injured and learns Bowden has escaped custody, killing guards and setting fires. Felisin, traumatized, still asks Heboric to convince Benneth to take her back. Meanwhile, Kalam is caught in a sandstorm and shelters at Ladro Keep, where he reveals his claw status to secure passage. A Deck of Dragons reading exposes his role and links him to High House Death. After Kalam leaves, Red Blade Captain Lestara Yil exterminates everyone at the keep and begins pursuit. Elsewhere, Mappo and Ikariam discover the Path of Hands beneath Iskaralpus Monastery.